Network. Hello again, everybody. I'm Barry Landers, along with Carrie Gluck at a windy, cool Hofstra Stadium. But Carrie, excitement starting to heat up. Should be very interesting to watch this new development, pro lacrosse, a very fast-paced, exciting kind of offensive-minded game.
Barry, I think this is what the people have been waiting for in lacrosse. This is going to be lacrosse at its finest. It's going to be a game that's going to be a running gun. There's going to be shooting. It's going to be just an exciting form of lacrosse.
Well, they have made some rule changes, very much similar in some ways to the international game, to speed up the game, and here are some of the rule changes.
Well, Barry, we'll see for the very first time we're going to have a 25-second clock, which is going to force the defensive teams to bring the ball up really quick. In addition to that, we're going to have only 3 long sticks on the field. Defensive midfielders will only be able to use the maximum of a 50-inch stick. Substitutions will be made on the fly. The only time that we really can get the clock to stop will be when there's a goal scored or on a penalty. And they'll have a delayed flag all over the field. There's no such thing now as just only in your offensive zone, but also in the defensive zone as well, which will keep the play moving rather than stopping it.
Well, the Syracuse club comes in with 16 players formerly starred at Syracuse. They've got 7 others from Hobart. They're an outstanding club. They've got attack people galore, and one of their stars, a former star in Syracuse in 81-82, Greg Tarbell, a full-blooded Indian.
Well, Greg Tarbell is just really considered one of the best midfielders going. He's strong, he goes to the cage, he's got perhaps one of the hardest shots on the field today. I'm sure we'll see it, Barry. And this guy, they just let him go. They let him run and let him take his shots.
Well, they've got people like Mike Perkins and outstanding attack and All-American defensive club, along with a great goalie in Travis Sullivan. As far as the Sachems are concerned, well, perhaps their strength is in their midfield and their defense. And they've got an All-American defenseman and perhaps one of the best in the world, Bobby VENCAK from Rutgers University.
Bob VENCAK is considered by many to be perhaps one of the top defensemen in the world, Barry. You said it. He is just steady. He doesn't make mistakes. He has such a variety of checks that the attackmen are taken by surprise. He's big, he's strong, he's well respected. He's going to lend a lot of stability, I think, to this defense.
Well, the defenseman will be tested because you have a lot of offensive talent on the field. And Carrie and I will be back, and our colleague Bob Galistine returns with the coaches in just a moment. You're watching Professional Lacrosse on Cablevision's Long Island Sports Network.
Years from now, followers of the American Lacrosse League and the people who run the league will look back upon April 24th, 1988 as the starting point. Jim Booth, coach of the Syracuse Spirit. This is it, game 1. How much preparation went into the game, and being that you don't know the Long Island that well, except for on paper some of the players, how do you prepare for game number 1 in a league that is just starting?
Well, it is tough. We know Long Island's strong in the midfielder, strong tradition. We started April 1st. We've had 3 weeks. We got the guys in shape. We'll see what happens.
A lot of these players been in shape before practice started April 1st.
Most of them came in pretty good shape. We had a few guys we had to work on, but we expect that.
Okay, Jim Booth, coach of the Syracuse Spirit. Anna Allen Lowe, former All-American, now coach of the Long Island Sachems. Alan, your thoughts on game 1 in the first year of the league?
Well, we've waited a long time for this, and hopefully we're ready. However, it's a long season, and we're just going to go one game at a time, and I think our guys are in pretty good shape physically. They've been playing basketball in some of the basketball leagues this winter to try to get ready, and April 1st we were out there running. We go one night a week and on Saturdays and Sundays, and hopefully we're ready.
Will the new rule changes speed up the game, and will we see a caliber lacrosse that has never been seen in America?
Right, it will speed up the game quite a bit. However, you probably won't shoot too many rides and clears. Everything's going to be a fast break, unsettled situation. As soon as a guy gets the ball out of bounds, we just take off upfield. They don't wait for the other team to get set up. And one of the toughest things are going to be rides and clears. It's non-existent. We put a little time in that, and actually we wasted a little bit of time. But it's a good change. It speeds the game up, and I think the spectators will like it.
Alan Lowe, coach of the Long Island Sachems. Well, opening face-off for the inaugural game of the American Lacrosse League, Long Island Sachems, coming up in just a moment. You're watching Pro Lacrosse on the Long Island Sports Network. Alan.
Today's game is being brought to you by Apple Bank for Savings. We're good for you. And by the Long Island Sachems Pro Lacrosse, members of the American Lacrosse League. Well, both clubs are on the field getting set to go. Karen, there's an air of anticipation and excitement as we take a look at that Syracuse starting lineup. Tom Nelson, former star at Yorktown High School, great star at Syracuse. And in the midfield, Mark Burnham and Mike Perkins and Greg Tarbell. What an all-star midfield unit that is. Syracuse defensively, all former Syracuse stars, and the goalie, star on the '83 championship team, Travis Solomon. For Long Island, on attack, a good one. Jeff Fritz, perhaps the best feeder. The midfield, Billy Naslonsky will be doing the facing off, and the two youngsters, Hall and Homeyer from North Carolina. And a very fine defensive unit led by Bobby VENCAK and Peter Olson and Hempstead's Aaron Jones, and the goalie Mike Nelson. As we're just about set to go, and there a look at the goalies carry for each club.
Well, we see on the left, Travis Solomon, going to consider one of the greatest stoppers in the game, holds his position very well. And in this game, the greatest attribute he probably has is his quick release. He's got great outlet passes, and if fast breaks are the major part of this game, which it will be, he's going to be very instrumental. And on the right, of course, Mike Nelson, who's played very well last week as the Sachems went up against New Jersey, got great reflexes. He attacks the ball. He sees everything. Great anticipation. Be a major factor in this game, Barry, is how quick they move.
Referee Bobby Schwab ready to drop the ball. Billy Naslonsky, number 15 in white, against Mark Burnham, number 12 in the orange for Syracuse, and the American Lacrosse League is underway. Naslonsky rolling the ball to the near side. They have had experience playing on the turf. He couldn't control it, goes out of bounds. That'll be Syracuse ball. That's one of the things, is they'll put the ball in play very quickly here.
Well, they'll be assisted in doing that, Barry. At each game, there are supposed to be 8 ball boys situated around the field to make sure that that ball does get back in play real quick.
Perkins is number 13. Number 18 is Greg Tarbell. Number 12 is Mark Burnham. Tarbell, who has great one-on-one ability. That's Mark Van Arsdale, 23. Working behind Tommy Nelson, 5, and Randy Powers, number 3. That's Powers with it. Watched by Aaron Jones, a former Hempstead and Cornell star. And as they make the move now, Perkins cut off. Good defensive play. However, we do have a flag drop. And the officials working today, Bobby Schwab is the referee, the umpire Terry Cullen, and the field judge John Gorman.
The officials called a hold on that last play against the Sachems. That's going to be a 30-second technical penalty against the Sachems. So we'll see the first man-up opportunity for the Spirit.
Doug Hall, number 8, serving the penalty right now as they do send in a defensive change here. They're only allowed 3 long poles, and that will change the situation here as they come up with the ball.
There's that great anticipation we spoke about by Mike Nelson, Barry, to cut off that pass.
But they get it back, still man up, and they'll set it up. 18 is Tarbell. Great one-on-one ability, dumps it off, and in front, a score. Randy Powers, number 3, off the beautiful feed from Greg Tarbell. And Powers, a 5'9", 24-year-old who played at West Jenny and started Delaware, member of the U.S. national team in '86, has a phenomenal shot, they tell us. Didn't have to put too much on that one after a great setup.
And here we'll see the instant replay coming from Tarbell down to Powers, and great effort. He beats on that beats his defenseman one-on-one. It looks like it goes right through Mike Nelson's legs on the goal, and he did beat defenseman Bob VENCAK in on the man-up.
Carrying man-up is going to be almost impossible with the ability offensively that these two clubs possess to stop, you would think.
Well, the way they can pass the ball, move the ball, it'll be tremendously difficult for any zone defense, which is what you have to play when you're man down, to stay with the ball.
Tom Rosa took that face-off. Sachems have it, however. Rosa was number 19 as they look to come in now and set it up to throw it away from behind. And upset with the throw was Todd Esposito, playing on the midfield unit with Rocco Guglielmo and Bobby Piccola. And Syracuse quickly will put it in play.
That was a good look by Todd Esposito. I think he just rushed his pass a little bit, perhaps being a little anxious early in the game, Barry.
And now Syracuse leading 1-0. We'll give you the recap of the scoring in a moment. That's Eric Jeske, number 11, as they have changed midfield units, working with Tom Rosa, 19, and Mike Guy, 16. Clubs have 3 midfield units each. This is the area that you need a lot of help in because it's a run-and-gun game. And that shot stopped by Nelson.
Good save by Mike Nelson. That was a nice bounce shot taken by the Spirit as we see the Sachems looking to clear, and it's a nice look to the far side. That was Rocco Guglielmo that made that clear go.
And now they'll work it as they have sent in another unit here, trying to get it untracked here. Syracuse leading 1-0, but Long Island has the ball. And we'll pick them up for you as we go. Todd Esposito is 23. He's working with Rocco Guglielmo, 17.
Number 23, Todd Esposito. Number 17,
here's Guglielmo. Nice dump off, but the shot stopped behind the cage. Solomon may have got a piece of that. The lookout in front broken up.
That was a great look up top by the midfield from the Sachems. Jeff Fritz just missed a good opportunity there for the Sachems.
Eric Jeske down the left wing, dropping it off for Randy Powers. He's got some shot. Nelson got a piece of that one. And Aaron Jones quickly outlets. Boy, look at this transition game.
This is going to be up and down all day, Barry, and this is what lacrosse was made to be. Keeping those midfields on, letting them play some defense, keeping the flow of the game going.
Guglielmo was checked over there, but it's recovered now. We'll have a change on the fly, which is something that this league is
Whoa, look at this, Barry.
Coming in and taking a shot, and scoring was Cook.
What happened there, Barry? Very simply, the Spirit got caught in the change. When number 5, Bobby Cook, picked up the ball, there were no midfielders on for the Spirit, and he just took it in one-on-one on the goal. He took a great shot, put it right by Travis Solomon.
Kerry, since these rules are new to both clubs, it's going to happen, especially in perhaps a first game where you're going to get burned on a line change.
Well, yes, Barry, that is going to happen, especially for the Spirit. And here you see Bobby Cook going in unmolested. Then there's finally is a slide, but it's much too late. Bobby Cook's got a great shot. He's going to put that ball in, and Travis Solomon did his best effort to try and stop it. But great effort and just a little bit of confusion on the part of the Spirit.
Bobby Cook showing his hard shot, former star at Levittown Division High School on Long Island and Adelphi University for Paul Doherty. And now the loose ball scooped up by Long Island. The Sachems have it. And they'll quickly make some moves here as they play it. Bruce Bruno is number 10. He'll work the attack. Cuts behind now. Also in is Jeff Fritz, 25. Fritz drops the ball as it checked off his stick high in the air by Jeff Desko, the former All-American at Syracuse. And the Syracuse team takes over.
Well, right now we're seeing a little bit of confusion by the Sachems as we take a look at Alan Lowe there for the coach of the Sachems. Their offense hasn't gotten really on track yet as they've been a little careless on their passes.
Syracuse and Long Island tied 1-1. We played almost 4 minutes of this first quarter as Syracuse will work it behind. They run 2 men behind, a 2-2-2. Now back out on top as they've made changes. Randy Lundblad, number 7 in the ball game with the ball right now.
What Syracuse has done 3 times down now, Barry, they've taken a man and they've isolated him up top and let him go one-on-one. Each time down they've done that. So they're really just popping a man off the crease and letting him come up top to go one-on-one.
Mark Van Arsdale doubled. Nelson got it out quickly. Aaron Jones with that great speed, former Cornell star, playing with the long pole. And he'll drop it off and go back across midfield as they'll make changes now.
Aaron Jones likes to bring the ball up, Barry, and he's going to keep the midfield on the Spirit honest all day because he'll beat them downfield if they're not careful.
Bobby Cook going behind. He could play midfield and attack. Scored the first goal of the game for Long Island. He's one of the older players on the club at 29. He's played a lot of club lacrosse. To Ott Mormon, number 24, in with a midfield unit now, along with number 22, Todd Lawson. And the pass out intercepted. And Syracuse will try to run it quickly upfield. Pat Donahue, 17, on with his midfield unit. Now Donahue will go off and we'll get changes as checking in is Mark Burnham, number 12 for Syracuse on the fly. And also for Long Island a change, Doug Hall has come in with Jeff Homeyer, number 18.
Greg Tarbell, the opening midfield.
So Greg Tarbell, number 18. Good move. Good stop in front off the goaltender's shaft of his stick that time.
That was a great save by Mike Nelson. And again, you saw Tarbell at his finest there, Barry. He likes to go one-on-one. He's strong. It was a nice roll, and he took a good lefty shot.
Intercepted on the attempted clear, and they've got the ball back against Syracuse as they're pressing. Aaron Jones, nice play to break that up.
Aaron Jones likes to run that ball up, and he's got the good speed. Watch out.
Oh, and Randy Powers says, how did I miss that one? Mark Van Arsdale set him up, but they ball put quickly back in play. You can see how quickly the transition is here. And that one stopped by Nelson. He's been under siege as that was fired in close by Tommy Nelson. No relation to Mike Nelson.
That was a nice inside roll by Tommy Nelson and a super save by Mike in the goal for the Sachems. And now the Sachems looking to clear.
And they'll come up quickly with it.
Homeyer with the ball right now, Barry, as the Sachems looking to set up their offense to get something going.
Bounces it wide, but they had a man behind the cage, and the ball quickly will be put in play by Long Island. And a quick shot and a score. Jeff Holmeyer off the great look from behind, and it's 2-1 as Holmeyer, the former star at Mineola High School in North Carolina. Excellent outside shot, and what a shot that one was by Jeff Holmeyer.
Well, you know what made that goal go for the Sachems, Barry, was the fact that the ball was put in play so quick that the defensive midfielder didn't react. Holmeyer had 2 steps on his man. He went to his right. He swept hard, got a great feed from Bruce Bruno, and there we have the Sachems in the lead for the first time, 2-1.
So they've been opportunists, taking advantage of a couple of lapses defensively, if you will, by Syracuse. Once, not having the men on the field at the proper time, and then not being ready on that quick inbound play.
Well, that's going to show you that there might be a little bit of a problem for Syracuse. They haven't had a scrimmage yet, Barry. This is the first real contest that they've had under the new rules and with this quick game going.
Tom Rosa came up with a face-off.
Also, we might want to point out, this is also, it's unusual. A lot of these midfielders have not really ever played defense when they were in college or playing club ball. So now they've got to go both ways, and they just maybe have to take a little time to get adjusted to that.
Eric Jeske, number 11, working with Tom Rosa, 19, and Mike Guy, 16 in midfield. That one blasted over the head of the goaltender by Eric Jeske, number 11, 24-year-old, former captain at Syracuse University in '86. Now Rosa has it checked away, but recovers.
Good wrap check by the Sachem defender. That was Nazlansky who put the check on.
Had loose ball being battled for. And coming up with it, Syracuse, and a beautiful score from in close by Mark Van Arsdale, I believe.
Goal number 3, Randy
I'll check it, Randy Powers. I saw the 3. It was Randy Powers picking up that loose ball and rifling a low shot that Mike Nelson had no chance on.
I will see Randy Powers come up with the loose ball. He just dropped the head of the stick right here, and I think he really just caught Mike Nelson by surprise, put it underneath VENCAK's stick, and there's a replay again. Mike Nelson just not quite reacting to it. Might have been somewhat screened by VENCAK on that shot.
Very strong, tenacious, hard worker, Randy Powers, who played up in the Syracuse area for West Genesee High School, played his college lacrosse at Delaware, who was an All-American in '84, '85, and '86. Member of the U.S. national team that won the World Championship in '86, so he's an outstanding player.
Oh, very well respected, among the best of the attackmen in the country, Barry.
Played for the Syracuse Lacrosse Club before joining the Syracuse Spirit. We're tied at 2-2, in case you're just tuning in. Halfway through the first quarter, Barry Landers and Kerry Gluck, the American Lacrosse League, debut here on Long Island.
We had a loose ball push there, Barry, which is simply why the Spirit got possession of the ball.
And Syracuse with possession right now. Pat O'Donoghue, number 17. Trying to make the pass out in front, broken up. Syracuse retaining possession, and they throw it away under some pressure from Bobby VENCAK. The midfielder threw it away, and now it'll be Long Island ball. They have to get it over midfield in 25 seconds. Syracuse has had the edge in shots by 5 in the early going.
Right, each of the officials, Barry, carries a little stopwatch on his belt, which is a 25-second stopwatch, which will indicate to them when the 25 seconds has expired.
Now they do cross midfield in time. And work it to Todd Esposito, number 23. Former star at Virginia. He's got a great shot. Played at Levittown Division here in Long Island. 5'10", 160-pounder. Now Esposito working one-on-one against the short stick over there. Makes a nice move, and he scores as he turned his defender in and out on that particular play and came up with the goal. Randy Lundblad victimized right there.
Well, that was a good opportunity by the Sachems. Todd Esposito using his left hand, taking advantage of the short stick, as we pointed out by Randy Lundblad. Good lefty shot, puts it up in the upper right corner, and can't do much on that. There's where he had his defenseman beat, and here's the lefty shot, putting it up right over the stick of Travis Solomon.
Now there you have another example, as we said, of the midfielders having to play real tight defensively against superb offensive players, and that time Lundblad just couldn't stay with Esposito. Now another big face-off coming up here. Syracuse leading 3-2, 6:32, or rather Long Island leading 3-2, 6:32 to go here in the first quarter. And as the Wings go after it, Syracuse comes up with it. Alert play, but they try to get it down here. And after it is Mark Van Arsdale, 23. He's being checked by the All-American defenseman Pete Olson.
Olson's a big defenseman, Barry. Likes to play the crease area. He really is, he's tough. He's going to be tough to beat.
Mark Burnham with the ball, number 12, working with Greg Tarbell, 18. and Mike Perkins. This is their most offensive-minded midfield. Tarbell lost it.
Oh, yes, there's going to be a moving pick there by Syracuse as he interfered with the defenseman of the Sachems, and we're getting a change on the fly as the ball is put in play very quickly.
And quickly, Rocco Guglielmo, 17, moves it to Todd Esposito, who just scored moments ago. He'll go toward the cage, bounce one low. Solomon makes the stop. There's a flag on the play, and let's see what the call is here.
Yeah, we'll have a slashing call against the Spirit, and we'll have an opportunity. We'll see it on the replay. We'll see that slash. Esposito going for the goal. There's the slash, hitting Esposito right on the helmet, and we'll have the Sachems now having a man up for 1 minute.
Syracuse is 1 for 1. They had a 30-second power play, a man-up situation, and cashed in. Let's see how Long Island's man-up works here. Leading 3-2. Homeyer is 18. Hall is 8. Swing it behind. Good look out in front for Homeyer, and he cashes in from about 15 yards away.
Well, I'll tell you, that was a great feed from the back, and Homeyer took a great shot, nice bounce shot over Travis Solomon. And Barry, I think any indication right now we've seen so far in this first period, 6 goals scored. This is going to be a high-scoring game. And the excitement and the shots. These guys can shoot. They have excellent shooters on both teams. We're going to see some nice shots. Look at Homeyer's shot. Takes that nice bounce shot and right through the defense and into the net behind Travis Solomon.
Well, this young man can go righty or lefty. Homeyer played at North Carolina. He and Doug Hall were teammates down there, and he is quite a player.
One of the things that Alan Lowe, coach of the Sachems, mentioned to me earlier in setting up their midfield lines, they looked for guys who played together, which made it a little bit easier to adjust to the play of the game as long as they were familiar with one another. And so Hall and Homeyer were naturals, both North Carolina graduates, to be on the same midfield.
Well, you have 3 Virginia players, 4 Cornell players, and 5 Adelphi players making up the bulk of this Long Island Sachem club. Here's Tommy Rosa working outside against his midfield checker.
Great check. Great check, Aslonsky, I think, on that wrap check. He just did a super job leading the fast break, and there it goes the other way.
It was Todd Lawson, 22, with the check. Oh, Cook, nice look in front, and missing the pipe from in close. With an opportunity that time was the Long Island Sachems, Tony Peratini, the crease attackman, number 12.
And the ball is already in play, Barry, but what a great look by Bobby Cook. What a show of athletic prowess as he kept his balance on the attack.
And Cook comes out again. I think Solomon may have gotten a piece of that one.
Eddie Cook, I think, just a little high on the goal, and again, the ball is right in play as we see now Bruce Bruno handling the ball.
The Cook brothers are 6 years apart, but boy, it's fun to watch those two guys. Eddie Cook, who played at Cornell, and Bobby Cook, who played at Adelphi. Now they set up here in a set-up play here. Work it off the crease, and missing from it close again was Tony Peratini.
Popping off the crease, that's what the Sachems are doing. They're trying to see if they can free someone coming off the crease.
And we'll have our first time out in a very fast-paced game with 4:17 to go here in the first quarter, and with Long Island leading by a score of 4-2.
And here we'll take a look at some of the action early on going. That's Syracuse Tom Rosa with the ball, and Syracuse great check by number 22. I thought it was Naslonsky, but that was Todd Lawson. What a great check, and look at it coming back the other way. The hustle on the part of the midfield. Look at this balance here by Cook as he looked off to his right to give the ball to Peratine. This is the way the game's been going, Barry. It's just up and down. It's great excitement, great shooters. This is the lacrosse at its finest.
Carry a little bit about the league now. Each team has 23 players on the roster, including 14 who've signed 2-year contracts worth $10,000 and 9 players with 1-year contracts worth $4,000. Teams will be stocked through an annual draft of college and club players. Now, the regular season will see 15 regular season games played on successive Sundays beginning today and, of course, ending July 31st. More about the league later. Delayed penalty coming up as Cook was fouled, and as it was fired wide from in close, we'll get a man-up situation again for Long Island.
And again, we're going to see a slash penalty. Cook took it on the mask, and the referee giving the man-up situation to the Sachems.
They have already cashed in 1 for 1 in man-up situations. As we mentioned, it's going to be awfully tough to stop a team from scoring with an extra player out there. With the offensive ability these clubs have and the ability to move the ball so quickly.
They're just so good. They're just, it's great.
Fun to watch this level of play. Now they move it to the near side, back out. Looking to set it up. Esposito swings it to the right wing, gets it back. Looks left for Guglielmo.
Here's the second man sneak around.
Back out it'll go. They work it outside. Bruno is number 10. Esposito. Bruno wants the ball, gets the shot off as he was checked. Had to reach high for it. Loose ball, who's going to get to it? Long Island will get it. Guglielmo scoops it up. Former star at Roanoke and Baldwin High School here in Long Island. Now picked off in front, but recovered by Long Island, but thrown away as the ball was thrown over the head. Bobby Piccola threw it away, and the ball goes over to Syracuse.
A little anxious, I think, Piccola was trying to make that long pass to the offside. Has to lob it a little bit more rather than on a line like it was. A little bit hard to handle that ball.
Now Jeff Fritz will try to do some riding here, and looks like Syracuse has thrown it away.
And the ball being put in real quick, coming in from the opposite side now.
Still man-up situation.
I think we're back to an all. No, we just had a little change for the Sachems. Todd Esposito coming in for the man-up.
Here's the look, and it's fired wide again from in close. This time with a good opportunity from a tough angle, however. Missing the cage was Bobby Piccola. So it's all even right now as Esposito works and bounces one wide of Travis Solomon. Well, Solomon, full-blooded Indian, and of course there are a lot of Indians who play a lot of lacrosse up there in that Syracuse area.
Well, this is the game of the Native American, they say, and they're the originators, and certainly they're well skilled on the up in the upstate area.
Now, the Onondaga Tribe, Iroquois up there as well. Now Long Island still retaining possession. Billy Neslonsky, number 15, has come on with his unit with Doug Hall and Jeff Homeyer. This is Doug Hall. Nice look in front. Oh, and Solomon stopped Homeyer.
Great save by Travis Solomon. He came up big on that one. He reacted real well as Homeyer cut down. It was an excellent feed by the Sachems. See if we can catch it again on the replay. Homeyer cutting down beautifully. And look at Travis Solomon go up for the stuff.
You're not going to see a better save than that on a quality offensive player like Homeyer. Now on the turnover, you can see the shots. Long Island really has picked up the pace. They've outshot Syracuse 15-9. They lead 4-2 under 2 minutes to go in this first quarter of action in the American Lacrosse League. That one bounced partially wide. Jeff Fritz, the shooter, and the ball goes out of bounds. It'll still be Long Island ball. Fritz, one of the oldest players on the club. He's the captain, 31 years of age, from East Meadow and Washington and Lee. Good Division III program down there, Washington Lee.
And he was an excellent player. And we have a score by the Sachems, Barry.
And it is now 5-2 as they come up with a big goal right here. Coming up with the goal, Ed Cook, his second goal. Or check it, Doug Hall with his goal. So the youngsters from North Carolina really making their presence felt right here.
Good opportunity by the Sachems to score on that. If we catch it on the replay, we'll see Doug Hall take his man on one-on-one, and he takes a nice bounce, slow bounce shot, beating the defenseman for the Spirit, Randy Lundblad. Second time he's been exposed by the midfield.
Well, Lundblad, who was a Syracuse All-American in '83. No more as an organizer and for his scoring potential, not as a defensive midfielder, and he's been burned. They picked on him early. Long Island with a 3-goal lead and the ball right now, late in the first quarter. This is Eddie Cook, number 9.
Number 5, Randy.
Drops it off to his brother Bobby.
Get back.
Bobby will work the midfield right now with number 22, Todd Lawson. Lawson. Now inverting, dropping it off to the crease, and Solomon got a piece of that close-in shot. Oh, opportunity here, Cook shot blocked by Solomon. Oh, another point-blank stop.
But you know, the key to that, Eddie Cook came up with that ball. He just like stole it away from the defenseman, Barry, and then he looked right inside for the Sachem shot, and it was a great save again by Solomon. I thought it might have even hit the pipe. I don't know if Solomon took that one.
Bobby Cook fires wide. Action fast and furious. Could be, Kerry. I'd have to look at another replay. Look how quickly they got the ball in, but having trouble controlling Long Island. They finally pick it up. Peratini loses it. And a timeout, however, has been taken before that by Long Island, so they will retain possession. And we've got timeout with 36 seconds left in this first quarter.
An interesting note, Barry, is as one of the rule changes in this game, when a team calls a timeout, the 1 minute they get from a timeout starts from the time they call it, not from the time that they get over to the bench area. So if you walk over to the bench area, you're taken away from your own timeout.
Well, recapping, Syracuse led 1-0. Long Island came back, took a 2-1 lead on goals by Bob Cook and Jeff Holmeyer. Syracuse tied it when Randy Powers got his second of the game, and then Todd Esposito and Holmeyer scored for Long Island, and Doug Hall for Long Island too. Let's join the huddle.
Come on, Trev.
So we just kind of get it at the end of Jim Hall's discussion right there. Jim Hall and Mike Greco, the coaches, Jim Booth rather, and Mike Greco, the coaches, and both from the Syracuse area.
Let's see if we can catch that last opportunity from the Sachems. As we see, look at that great move by Cook over there, and he looks right inside, and here's the shot. Catch it right off the crossbar, right over the head of Solomon. Bang, right off that crossbar, pops way out. It came out too strong, that's what I thought, for him to hit his stick.
Good eyes. And here's a shot and a score from in close again on a bounce shot.
Todd Lawson takes a great right-handed shot. And again, Travis Solomon might be having some problems with maybe the artificial surface, maybe having some problems keeping his eye on the ball, because they're taking some tough shots. But again, Barry, it's tough to watch these shots. These guys shoot the ball a ton.
4 unanswered goals for Long Island as we watch Todd Lawson.
He winds up, Barry, and takes that nice overhand bounce shot. Okay, and look at it go off to the off-stick side of Travis Solomon.
Todd Lawson getting the goal from Jeff Fritz. That last one coming at 14:36 of the period, making it 6-2 in favor of Long Island as they have broken a 4-4 tie with 4 straight goals here. Syracuse has to change the momentum here. They try to come up with a face-off, Mark Burnham, but it's taken away by Long Island. Good play by Rocco Guglielmo.
Did a great job coming up with the loose ball with men all over him. Oh, what a look inside. That was a tough pass to make.
Todd Esposito looking for Jeff Fritz off the crease. There you see Fritz 25.
And Fritz was just really covered by the defenseman. That was a tough pass.
4 seconds, 3. Can they get the shot off in time? And they do get it off, but the period comes to an end. Interesting first period, and Alan Lowe's got to be pleased. His Long Island club leads by 4.
Well, Barry, I think we can come up for air right now and see if we can catch our breath with the way the flow of this game has been going.
So that's the story at the end of 1 quarter in the debut of the American Lacrosse League. The Long Island Sachems 6 and the Syracuse Spirit 2. Kerry and I will be right back. You're watching the Long Island Sports Network. Let's go down to Bob Galestine down on the field.
This is Norb Lucas, the father of Bob Lucas of the Syracuse Spirit. Did you ever think your son was going to play lacrosse again?
No, he was very happy when it happened. Everybody, all these guys are so happy that they got a chance to do something after their college days.
The Lucases came down from Syracuse for this game. What do you think of the rule changes?
Oh, they're excellent. I mean, especially getting rid of those 2 long sticks and keep those scores going up. You know, it makes it tough for these guys on defense, but the shooters sure got it made today.
Barry, I took a quick poll, and that seems to be the consensus among the fans here.
Well, they're enjoying it. We hope you are at home. Barry Landers along with Kerry Gluck as we get ready for second quarter action. Bobby Lucas, 5'7", not a big guy like his dad there. You played at University of Baltimore, and an excellent right-handed shooter. Haven't seen too much of Bobby out there today, but we shall see him here in the second quarter, I'm sure. Syracuse got to change the momentum here, Kerry. What do you think they've got to try to do a little bit better?
Well, they haven't gotten much control of the face-offs. I think Naslonsky's really done a great job, as well as Rocco Guglielmo. Here we see them come up with the face-off, and that's really what they're going to have to do.
Donahue, number 17, was going after it.
I think one of the factors also is, as we've seen, the Sachems have been done a great job on the ground balls, and I think that's been a factor in the game.
Tommy Nelson going out of bounds. Flags go flying. And I think the call is going to go against Long Island here. Let's wait and see.
I would venture to guess it's going to be a push with possession. So we're going to see it right here on the replay. And here's the Sachem defender. That was number 28, Pete Olson, pushing the man out of bounds, and that's what they're calling. And Tom Nelson, the man who was taken advantage of on the sideline.
So they've got a man serving the penalty. Man-up situation. Syracuse scored on their only man-up earlier, and they'll work it to Tarbell. They've held him pretty much in check, Tarbell. Powers, who has both goals knocked away. Tarbell recovers. Back to Powers, watching him closely. Tarbell. They'll move it to the side to Burnham. They set up in a 1-3-2. Now they'll break it down. Here's Tarbell, one man behind, and that's Powers.
Interesting that Tarbell is the only man on the field with a blue helmet, Barry.
And the look in front. Oh, Nelson made a nice play to stop the shot in close, taken by Tommy Corey, number 4.
Tommy Corey, an excellent attackman, had a good opportunity, but Nelson did a great job of reacting to that, and that's one of his attributes, according to the coaches, that he's got great reflexes.
And there's a look at the young man we talked about, Bobby Lucas. You just heard from his dad. Happy to be on the field. Tom Corey, I think, is the Syracuse all-time leading scorer, an awesome left-handed shooter, and he was playing on that side to come around with it. Let's watch Powers still man up here. Syracuse needs a man-up goal. Excellent defense over there by number 20, VENCAK.
Look at VENCAK all over him like a rug, Barry. He was doing a great job defensively.
And now, Sachems will bring it across. Penalty is over. Nice look out in front, and it goes wide. We get a penalty as the possession change right there.
We have a loose ball push, Barry. The official called it a loose ball push, so it'll give the ball over to the Sachems and have a chance for them to get the offense on. Here's the replay on the push. Looks in tight into the crease area. Comes across, and here's the push from the backside. It could have almost been a push from behind, which would have been a 30-second.
Doug Hall made quite a pass cross field, number 8, to set up that play. That was a great look.
That's pinpoint passing. That's passing at its best.
Here's Hall again with a pass. This time it's picked off by Tommy Rosa. And Solomon will look to clear. Syracuse with it, trailing 6-2 on the attack right now as they come in. And Nelson trying to get control of it. Nice plays. He came off the crease to play it. Hall trying to run it down. Look at that collision. Hall hits Rosa. Clean check, and the ball goes back over to Syracuse.
What a nice hit by number 16 for the Sachems. That was a great hit by Hall.
All right, so now it'll be played by Syracuse. Syracuse with the ball.
I'm sorry, Barry. That was Jimmy Trowbridge who laid that hit on number 16.
And now they'll make some changes here. Syracuse with possession, trailing 6-2. That's Mike Guy, number 16 for Syracuse, as they're working with Tommy Rosa and Eric Jeske. Jeske is 11. Former captain of Syracuse in '86. He can run all day. Great between those training lines, they tell us. There you can see ground balls pretty even. Syracuse hasn't been able to get the offense on track. Only one even strength goal. They had a one-man-up goal earlier. And as they try to carry around defensive play there, we get a whistle.
What a great over-the-head check by Aaron Jones. That was just super. Unfortunately called for the push, they said afterwards, but what a check that was.
Here's Jeske cut off. Over to Mike Guy, former star at Hobart, number 16. He'll get it back. Trying to make his move there against number 30. That's the defenseman there, Dan Tracy. Nice look out. Powers cut off, though. Excellent defensive positioning right there. John Edney, number 13, playing real good defense on Powers there.
John Edney was All-American at Hobart. He was also the defenseman of the year in 1983, Barry. And they say when he checks it, well, you know you got checked.
He's gone. Got a penalty right here. Delayed call. And as the shot was taken by Mike Guy, he was checked. We get maybe 2 flags thrown here. Let's see if they're going to call both penalties.
John Edney could have been just a little bit over anxious there. He's going to get the call right here on the first penalty. They're calling a hold right there. He's up kind of high on that. And then we may also see an unnecessary roughness call afterwards. So we might have a 2-minute penalty here against the Sachems.
2 men down. Indeed, that is the call. We're trying to get the official call right here. There's one penalty. That young man over there heading off for Long Island, heading off over there, Tony Perrotini.
Barry, it's not going to be 2 men down. Inadvertently, there is a 2-minute penalty. The same penalty committed by the same man, the same man committing 2 penalties.
All right, they do exactly have 5 defenders out there. Okay, so they'll work it now out in front, knocked away as Corey was trying to just shovel it in.
He's trying to sneak from behind, and as a matter of fact, they give the ball over to the Sachems. Look how quickly we get the ball in play. Aaron Jones losing it.
And as they battle on that far side, Jones lost it, so Syracuse gets it back. Mike Perkins, 13, gets the pass in front, and it's a score. And that one now makes it a 6-3 game. Coming up with a goal, Tommy Corey, number 4, the 5'10", 183-pound, 23-year-old who is Syracuse's all-time leading scorer.
Well, when he gets room behind the cage and to move around, he's going to be in trouble. He's a hustler. He really has an awesome lefty shot, and that's what he took right there. He took that lefty shot, as we'll catch it once again. Here's his lefty, low shot. It's really taken very well, screening off Mike Nelson off the defenseman.
So Tommy Corey comes up with a goal, a second man-up goal scored by Syracuse this afternoon, and it's 6-3 now. Time of the goal will be 4 minutes, 17 seconds. Goal scores for Syracuse today, 2 from Randy Powers, 1 from Tom Corey. Jeff Homeyer has scored twice for Long Island. Doug Hall, Todd Lawson, Todd Esposito, and Bob Cook have the other goals for the Long Island Sachems. All the teams in the league named after Indian names. The Sachems, a tribe from here on Long Island. And now Long Island with the ball. Their 4-goal lead has been cut to 3 as they'll make a change right now in the midfield. This is the shot from behind the goal as you look upfield. Interesting shot. Long Island with it now. Bob Cook, number 5, working in the midfield with Mormon, 24. Now Mormon sets a pick. Cook runs left off that pick. Todd Lawson is also out there, number 22. That's Lawson now with the ball. Watched by Lundblad. They've tried to isolate people on Lundblad all day. Gets the shot off wide of the goal, but it's played by Long Island. Here's Cook again, Ed Cook, number 9. Drops it out off the crease. Lundblad scoops it back to Solomon, intercepted by Cook. Oh, what quick hands. Bobby Cook coming up with a goal.
What anticipation, what reflexes by Bobby Cook. He, again, stole the ball away from the defenseman and just caught Travis Solomon one-on-one. He was inside the defensive area and just took that nice shot over Solomon's shoulder.
Again, Randy Lundblad just shoveled that ball back to Solomon, unsuspecting. Solomon was probably not expecting it, and there was Cook to pick it off. And it's been a rough afternoon for Lundblad.
And here we'll see it. There's the little shovel. Cook stepping right in between, and with his left goes over the shoulder of Solomon. Solomon really doesn't react, doesn't get the stick up quick enough, and of course it's really hard at the pace of this game to react that quickly.
You know, it's funny, Kerry. They may not have had scouting reports, but it doesn't take long for players on the field to size up the opposition and know who might be weak, and you go right after them.
Well, you know what, Barry? These guys aren't strangers to one another either. A lot of them have been playing against each other in club ball. They've played each other against each other in college, so they know each other, you know, quite a bit, and they know the weaknesses and the strengths of each of these players.
Bobby Cook has 2 goals.
As a matter of fact, I'd even add that a lot of them even played with one another. They played together on the national teams, the U.S. teams. They've played together on the world team. So, I mean, they're not strangers to one another. They know weaknesses and strengths.
Yeah, that's a good point. Long Island going with Rocco Guglielmo for the face-off, number 17. And we get the whistle. They'll do it all over again. And also on the face-off that time for Syracuse was Pat Donahue. Violation against Long Island, or rather against Syracuse, so Long Island has the ball. Goes out, and they'll put it quickly back in play. Boy, having those 8 ball boys really speeds up the game.
Oh, it keeps the ball in play constantly, Barry. There's just no time to rest. You can't lose your concentration as a defensive midfielder. You can't lose sight of your man. You can't turn your back. You've got to have full vision on him and the field at the same time.
Good cut by Bobby Piccola. Missed the net with a hard left-handed shot past to Piccola. He has it checked away as they battle for it behind the cage. Goes out of bounds over the end line. And again, Long Island quickly will put it in. Here's Piccola. Oh, Solomon couldn't hang on to it, and Travis Solomon having a tough afternoon. It's now 8-3 in favor of Long Island.
The shot was just so hard, it just ricocheted right off Solomon's stick and right into the cage. But again, you know what happened? Bobby Piccola quickly taking advantage of the fact that his defensive midfielder lost sight of him. And we'll see it on the replay. He's wide open when he takes a shot. Look at how quickly his defensive midfielder is just coming out on him now. You give these guys that kind of room, and look at it. Hits Solomon's stick and just goes in over his shoulder and into the cage. Now, the other play, Piccola took the shot. He cut down on the crease. He cut down so quick, as a matter of fact, that they couldn't get the feed to him. So it was really, he took the last 2 shots for the Sachems.
Ironically enough, that defender late was Bobby Lucas, who we just talked to his dad just a few minutes ago. Be that as it may, Long Island now leading 8-3, 9:04 to go here in the second quarter. Hope you're enjoying the action. American Lacrosse League, the first game of this season. And we're here at Hofstra Stadium as Syracuse's Tarbell comes up with it.
Oh,
look out for Randy Powers. Look at him. Drop it off. Look at that passing. and it's finally broken up by Long Island.
I think maybe it's one pass too many. I think they had the opportunity to take the shot earlier, Barry, but tremendous stick control, tremendous accurate passing on the part of the Spirit.
How about that behind the back pass? I'd love to get another look at that one.
That was an excellent opportunity, but it's not worth it if it doesn't get to the man, and unfortunately it looks great to the spectators, but the coach pulls his hair out when you see passes behind the back and it doesn't get there.
Well, Jim Booth, who played at Syracuse, their coach, and coached at Onondaga College, can't be happy right now, but remember, they have not had a scrimmage, and Long Island did have a scrimmage. Oh, hard check on Tommy Rosa. It's a clean one by Doug Hall. Boy,
what a
Hall's
great over-the-head check. Did you see Hall come over the head on that?
Bodies go flying in midfield. Also, Syracuse retaliates with a good check, but Long Island will get possession here. So the Sachems have it quickly as they move it downfield. Leading by 5. Doug Hall, who's played a super game working with Homeyer in the midfield. That's Hall 8. Billy Naslonsky is 15. Naslonsky, former star at Rutgers and Farmingdale High School here in the island. All of the players on Long Island from Long Island High School, and those of you watching up in the Syracuse area, New Channels Cable, glad that you're along to watch our telecast of the inaugural game of the American Lacrosse League. Picked off by Tommy Rosa. Haven't had many fast breaks. He's checked. Long Island all over the ball there.
Look at the hustle and the aggressive play by the Sachems. They're really working hard out there, Barry.
Eddie Cook with a big check there, and that one from in close, wide. Now we will have a timeout taken by the officials right here. 7:18 to go here in the second quarter, and the Long Island Sachems are leading by a score of 8-3. Well, Kerry, we talked about each team playing 15 regular season games, and the regular season will end July 31st, and then it'll be playoff time. All 6 teams will compete in a single elimination playoff, and that'll begin on August the 7th. We'll be back with more as we bring you the 1988 debut of the American Lacrosse League. I'm Barry Landers along with Kerry Gluck, and you're watching Pro Lacrosse on Cablevision's Long Island Sports Network. Back at Hofstra Stadium, Barry Landers along with Kerry Gluck, where the Long Island Sachems lead the Syracuse Spirit 8-3. Play back in right now, midway through the second quarter. Long Island with the ball as we watch Mr. Bob Cook, who has 2 goals, work outside. Cook, former Adelphi star, go with either the right or left. Now working with Todd Lawson in the midfield, former Adelphi star as well, but some 7 years apart. Both played for Paul Daugherty's outstanding program. Nice look by Cook in front as the brothers nearly combined for a score. And then Solomon comes up with the loose ball. And we get a whistle and a crease interference against Long Island there.
Yeah, crease violation called against the Sachems. I think that was Tony Paratine who ended up in the crease, and he's pleading the fact that he was pushed from behind. But the officials say, sorry, Tony, we got to give the ball over to the Spirit.
So Syracuse trying to get something going. They got the first goal of the game, but they've only been able to score 1 even-strength goal, Kerry, in this game, and that's surprising with the offense that they came in with.
And it's also a credit to the defense of the Sachems. They're doing an outstanding job. The close defense and also the defensive midfield are doing an outstanding job.
Here's Randy Powers, who has 2 of their 3 goals, working behind against John Edney. Powers has a ton of moves. Look at that one. Stop. And as they battle for possession, Syracuse gets it again. Good check in front, but it's recovered by Syracuse. And they'll try to set it up. Mike Guy is 16. Nice cross-field look, and a bounce shot by Eric Jeske stopped.
Nice save, too, by Mike Nelson. He followed that ball. You watch him. He goes down right with the shot, Barry, keeping his concentration right on the ball.
And Long Island will get the ball right here. 5:56 to go as you look at the goaltender, Mr. Nelson.
Here's one of the few opportunities, Barry, that we've seen either team have a chance to set up a true ride. Syracuse now in a 3-man attack zone ride.
That's true, and now Long Island will go behind and try to set it up. As the attack working behind, Bruce Bruno is number 10. They move it out in front, and a bounce shot by Solomon. Who's going to get to the end line first? Syracuse hustles after it. Good hustle that time for Syracuse to come up with the ball. Number 27, the speedy defenseman, Jeff Desko, the former All-American in Syracuse in '86.
One of his greatest attributes, Barry, is his speed, and there he showed it. He beat the attackman to the line. That's good hustle on the part of Desko.
Desko will put it in play. Parentini riding.
Back up, back up, back up.
And now again, we're seeing a chance here. The Sachems into a ride for one of the few times today they're in their zone ride.
It's not the headset.
Now flip it back to Solomon. Remember, they've got to get it across in 25 seconds. They have a clock. And this guy, Kevin Sheehan, can run it out. Instead, he'll drop it off to a midfielder, but having trouble with the ball was Eric Jeske. Sachems should come up with a loose ball here.
Good defensive work. Good ride by the Sachems. They did a good job to take the ball back and get over to the offense.
And there are players changing on the fly as Todd Esposito, number 23, has come on, along with Rocco Guglielmo, 17, and Bobby Piccola, number 11. So the B midfield unit, so to speak, is on. Here's Guglielmo out of Roanoke College and Baldwin High School.
That was John Williams. I think we have to give credit to John on his aggressive ride there, Barry, who came up with the check to give the ball back to the Sachems.
Bruce Bruno's pass picked off, one of the few pass breaks Syracuse has had all day. Tommy Rosa dropping it off now, the lookout in front, and it's fired wide from in close that time. They should have been able to cash in. Mike Guy missing on that one.
That shot just a little bit high, but it was a good opportunity, good fast break for the Spirit.
And now we'll get an illegal procedure call. I guess they have made an illegal substitution there against Syracuse, and they lose possession.
Well, what happened was, Barry, the man came on the field before the other man came off, so they got called for the illegal procedure.
Long Island with 6 more shots, and they lead by 5, looking to make it 6 here. Cook with a close-in shot. Solomon with the big stick stopped it, and now they're getting some fast breaks going here off that quick transition by Solomon. But they're cut off. Guy, Mike Guy, number 16, former star at Hobart. Over to number 15, and they'll work it outside. Bobby Lucas. That's Dave Fouge, 14. This unit hasn't played much as Donahue gets it cross. Here's Lucas moving to the cage. Shot partially blocked. Look out in front, hit the pipe. Tough luck there on Tommy Nelson.
2 pipes for the Spirit, Barry, or 2 pipe shots that we've seen deflected.
Tough
Again,
luck.
another good opportunity and a good piece of the equipment by Mike Nelson.
Tommy Nelson, who slides beautifully. He's a finesse attackman. Finds the open holes. Remember him at Yorktown? He's been an outstanding player for several years. Played at Syracuse, Tommy Nelson. Of course, they've got the Gate brothers over there, making a lot of people forget. The Nelson brothers.
That's true, Barry. But Tommy Nelson is an outstanding attackman, and he really finds the seams and on the defense.
Oh, Doug Hall with a nice pass in front as he was looking for his teammate Ed Cook. And Cook just couldn't get it, but Doug Hall's been very impressive here today.
Looked very nice. I'll tell you what I'm really impressed with Sachem. They look for each other real well. They play a nice team game.
Kevin Sheehan with a big stick. Tommy Corey had it checked away, but a flag is thrown. It'll be on the Sachems, and it'll be a 1-minute penalty coming up here.
That's going to be, they're calling the flash against the Sachems, giving the Syracuse team another opportunity on their man up. And they've been doing a pretty good job with their man up, Barry.
Well, we had 8 goals scored in the first quarter. Scoring pace has slackened a little bit here in the second. We've had only 3. And Syracuse, 2 for 3 man up, gets another chance here. They've got to take advantage of these chances because they haven't done all that much even strength, although they did hit those 2 pipes, Carey, as you mentioned. Now working Randy Powers behind. Mike Perkins, number 13, he's got an awesome shot. So does this guy, Tarbell. Tarbell bounces one, good shot, and a good stop by Nelson. As they try to get to that ball, number 20 was VENCAK. Boy, VENCAK.
You see him hustle to that ball, Barry? He really worked to get that loose ball.
Now VENCAK trying to set up his teammate Bruce Bruno, throws it away, and Syracuse will get it back. 2:01 left now. Here in the first half, Syracuse down by 5, still a man-up situation.
But you know what happens, though, Barry? VENCAK, although he did throw the ball away, forces Syracuse to start all the way from the other end of the field, which eats up time on the man down.
Now penalty about halfway through. Tommy Corey working one-on-one. Look out in front, and a score from Mike Perkins. That's the kind of shot, the awesome right-handed shot we have been told that this guy, Mike Perkins, has, a guy who can pick corners in traffic, and he let go of the bullet there to give him their third man-up goal and cut the deficit to 4.
Well, he showed he's got the ability to take the shot from the outside, Barry. He's noted for his great shooting, and here you'll see it on the replay as he gets a nice feed up top, and here he pops out. Perkins with the one-handed stab, and his defenseman duck a little bit to screen off the goalie, and Tommy Martello gets the assist on a great feed and a great shot by Mike Perkins.
Well, Perkins coming up with the goal. That's his first professional goal, but he scored a ton at Cortland State, where he was a real fine player. So now the game is 8-4, and we await the face-off coming up here. Looks like it'll be Tommy Rosa taking the face-off against Billy Naslansky. Naslansky 15, Rosa 19. As the wings come in to try to help out here. No clear possession. Get some pushing going on. And the ball goes over to Syracuse.
Now, I think we call the lead ball push on Homeyer, so they give the ball over.
And now another flag is thrown.
That's a delay of game penalty. Homeyer, who hit the ball with his stick, it's called for a delay of game, and he got a 30-second penalty for that. And again, we'll see the Sachems man down. Now, this could really hurt. This takes away some momentum from the Sachems, who've been doing a great job, and you don't want to, with only a minute and a half to go in the half, give up 2 goals on those kind of plays, Barry.
Mark Burnham put it in play, number 12. 18 is Greg Tarbell. Watched by Aaron Jones. 6 against 5 here, man up. We're down to a minute 18 to go, first half. Bob Galistine with a big halftime coming up. He'll be talking to John Pappas, GM of this Long Island club, as they throw it away behind Mike Perkins. Not a good pass for Syracuse.
No, it wasn't a good pass at all. You can't afford to throw it away on the man up, but they've been executing nicely on their man up. Quickly, they're looking to take the ball, and of course, VENCAK is going to clear it for the Sachems as outstanding.
Perkins
defenseman.
with a check, and he was double teamed, hit from behind and in front, lost the ball. But a good check by Mike Perkins from behind as he had the angle. And Syracuse gets it back right here.
And Tarbell hit him hard up front, coming in from the front, too. But VENCAK's a big guy. He's tough.
Mark Burnham swings it over to Powers. Powers lets go of the shot. Nelson, good stop.
And we're all even now, Barry. And there's just under a minute to go in the half, 40 seconds.
Doug Hall up the left wing side. Moving downfield on Tarbell. Let's go with the shot, and the save is made by Solomon.
And here comes Perkins back the other way.
Perkins, 6'1", 185, real strong to his right. Checked as he got the shot off by Todd Lawson. Good
Great
play
check.
by Lawson.
Good check, too, because I'll tell you, I think Mike Perkins was coming in on goal. He had a good opportunity there if Lawson wasn't able to check that stick.
You see that guy coming in from any closer than he was, 15 yards, forget it.
Look at this pass, almost
beautiful.
half the field.
Lawson, number 22, with 10 seconds now to go. He'll try to get the shot off in time. 7 seconds, Solomon got a piece of it. Bruno behind, over to Nelson, the lookout in front of the score!
Oh, what a great opportunity.
1 second left. Cook coming up with a goal. What a play, and Jim Booth can't believe it on the Syracuse sideline, and Alan Lowe says, I love it.
Oh, man, I'll tell you, I think Syracuse thought that the play was going to be called with time running out. I think they're really disappointed that they gave up that goal with a second to go. Bobby Cook doing an outstanding job. That's why he's All-American. We'll catch it on the replay. He gets the feed from behind.
The brother act.
From his brother. And I'll tell you, the Cooks are cooking, Barry. They are doing a great job.
They're heating up the Hofstra Stadium right now. Bobby Cook's 3rd goal of the game. And with 1 second left in the clock, what an important psychological lift that is, too, for Long Island as they have the face-off, and that is it. The first half has come to an end on a very dramatic note.
I'll tell you, Barry, this is so exciting, and I think the Sachems have to be really pleased about the way they're playing. Their midfields are doing an excellent job playing defense, and that's the one area that they really, really questioned a little bit. They knew they were going to be tough defensively.
All right, down on the field right now, our colleague Bob Galistine has Syracuse coach. And let's go to the Syracuse coach right now, Jim Booth.
How are your players adjusting to the new rule changes in game conditions?
Well, I don't know if it's so much adjusting to rule changes or game conditions. We just got to start playing lacrosse. We're dropping the ball. We're not putting the ball in the net. We had 3 or 4 pipes. We just got to get in the flow of the game more and start playing our type of game.
Has the caliber of the game been what you expected?
Oh, yeah, we knew it was going to be a good ball. There's no doubt about that. And Long Island's a good team. We just got to come out and play our own game, that's all.
Jim Booth, coach of the Syracuse Spirit. Halftime activity is coming up in just a second. You're watching Pro Lacrosse on the Long Island Sports Network. at halftime. Long Island 9, Syracuse Spirit 4. My pleasure and privilege to have the general manager of the Long Island Sachems, longtime, very successful lacrosse coach at Long Island Sasson High School, John Pappas. John, before we get into the state of the American Lacrosse League, your thoughts on the caliber of competition so far?
Well, it's a lot of up and down action. I got a feeling that Syracuse is going to come out in the second half smoking. They're not used to being down in this kind of a ball game. They've been looking forward to this game especially because the general manager was up. We had a little bit of a scrimmage in Jersey, and he had seen us play, and Jersey had done a job on us. So he went back feeling pretty confident, and I'm sure when they come out of that locker room, they're going to really go at it.
American Lacrosse League, this is the inaugural day, season. Now you have a fairly successful opening day crowd, about 1,500 people. This is going to take time, something I imagine to generate crowds in excess of 4,000 or 5,000. I'm sure.
I think what the people are going to see here now is the kind of lacrosse that's going to have them come back next week, and they're going to be more or less, our ambassadors to go out and just tell people come back and next week and see what this game is all about. I would love to see this crowd double next week, and then, like you say, it's going to take time, and maybe by our third home game, maybe fill the place.
You think Long Island is playing up to expectations? Jim Booth, for one, seemed very disappointed in the way the Spirit's playing.
Well, I tell you, if you go by the score, I can't say anything but positive things on them. It's a tough thing to do, too. You got to understand that there's a transition in this now. There's a couple of rules in there that these boys have not been used to playing. So the first couple of weeks of this league, people are going to start feeling a little bit more comfortable with what's going on. But I'm pretty happy with Long Island's playing, I'll tell you that.
Rule changes. Sachem's first goal, the result of new rule change, the free substitution, catching Syracuse in a line change. You think it'll be very quick for the players to adjust to the new rule changes? Also, the 3 long sticks as opposed to 5, along with the other rule changes.
I'm sure they'll adjust pretty quickly to the new rule changes. The only one that's going to, I think, affect us as far as the league the most is that the 3 long stick rule, because now the midfielders are going to have to really learn how to play defense, and for the most part they never had. And now it's going to be a situation where they're going to have to be drilled at practice to understand how to check and how to play defensive middies.
In these days of Major League Baseball ballparks having alcohol-free sections, the American Lacrosse League has alcohol-free games, not a drop of beer or whatever alcohol being sold at any American Lacrosse League game. That means that you want to appeal to the family type of atmosphere. How successful do you think that will be?
I think it's going to be super successful. I really like the idea that if I were a fan, that I can bring my kids to the ball game and not have to worry about foul language or worry about people being taken away by the alcohol that they're going to be consuming. We don't need alcohol in sports. It's caused, I think, only negative things. The fans are going to let us know more or less how successful that's going to be.
John Pappas, the general manager of the Long Island Sachems. I'll be back with Carrie Gluck in just a couple of minutes to recap the first half. Right now, let you know that the score, Long Island 9, Syracuse 4. You're watching Pro Lacrosse on the Long Island Sports Network. A blustery day so far, weather-wise. A bright day for the American Lacrosse League. Bright day for the Long Island Sachems, not necessarily so for the Syracuse Spirit. 9-4, Long Island leading at halftime. Carrie, the game at the beginning on the field, it was a sense of anticipation. Then, toward the second half, the players settled down to a lacrosse game. Got a little bit chippy there toward the end of the second quarter.
Well, the reason I think it got a little chippy on, as you noted, Bob, is because the game opened up a lot. There was a lot more fast breaking. The ball was really moving up and down the field. And anytime you get the ball moving up and down the field as fast as it is, there's going to be some open field hits, and that's where it's going to come down to be some little chippy.
The halftime statistics, Long Island leading goal-wise 9-4. The stats a little bit in favor of the Sachems.
Well, you see, the Sachems have really been doing an excellent job during the first half. They've taken some good shots. They've had some fast breaks, but they also had a lot of man-up opportunities, which have made it really a good opportunity for them. As we look at the saves, you'll see how close it is. Travis Solomon, having undergone 31 shots, making 10 saves, he's really coming under siege, I think, by the Sachems. Face-off, surprisingly enough, Neslansky doing an excellent job along with the other Sachem face-off. They're controlling the face-offs, and I think that's a very important factor so far through the first half of the game.
A couple of pretty goals for both teams. goaltending has been better for Long Island. On the goals, there were a number of one for Long Island scoring its first goal on a line mistake changed by Syracuse.
Here we see the Sachems score first goal right over the stick of Travis Solomon and into the net. That was Bob Piccola that took that shot. Just an awesomely hard shot, and even Travis Solomon had a tough time handling that shot. And here we see on the second shot, this scored by the Syracuse Spirit. Mike Perkins takes the ball, one-handed stabs it, and takes a nice overhand bounce shot. Mike Nelson, who played superb first half, outstanding first half, Mike Nelson couldn't quite make the save, and Perkins gets the goal. And on the last goal that we'll catch right over here, we'll see the Cook brothers working together super, looking from behind the cage out front to his brother, Bobby Cook, making the goal in the last second of the first half, Bob, which really helps the momentum for the Sachem.
Is Syracuse's problem just in goal, or is it a more team defensive situation?
Well, I don't think they're playing their game. They really like to run a lot, and they haven't had the ball that much to run. The Sachems have been dominating the ground balls. They've been dominating the face-offs, and I think it's taking the spirit out of the game. It's taken away a little bit of the spirit, so to speak.
And 9-4, the Spirit. 9-4, the Spirit. Well, the Sachems on top of the Spirit. Carey and Barry will have the third quarter action starting in just a couple of minutes. You're watching Pro Lacrosse on the Long Island Sports Network.
We are back. Barry Landers along with Carey Gluck ready for the start of the second half, and Syracuse has made a goaltending change. There's Chuck Warren, who played at Harbor Fields High School on Long Island, was the Division III championship goalie, MVP on that Hobart Division III championship team. He's 5'8", 150-pounder, great stopper, a field general, very unselfish, Carey, and he is quite a player. He was also MVP of the North-South game, and when you're a goalie and get that kind of an honor, that's really something.
Well, he's done an outstanding job in the goal. I'm sure he's looking forward to playing down here on Long Island, his home area, and he'd like to put on a good showing right now. I think Syracuse is also looking for a little bit more in the goal. Travis Solomon didn't quite do the job I think they expected him to do at the start of the game.
Mark Burnham came up with the face-off. Syracuse has it. Tommy Nelson, number 5. Excellent attack man, working it now to Perkins. Perkins with the lookout for Corey in front. Doesn't take him long to score. Tommy Corey's second goal of the game. And what a big lift Syracuse gets, scoring 15 seconds into the third quarter.
Well, you got to know that Syracuse is going to come out smoking, Barry, at the start of this second half. They were really taking off their game, I think, and they're really going to come out. They got to show a little bit that they were able to move the ball and do the job on offense that they really did not do in the first half.
Corey from Perkins at the 15-second mark right here.
And we'll see the feed inside. There's Perkins looking inside for Corey. And he takes a nice move as he goes to his left. He takes the shot lefty, putting it right by Mike Nelson.
Bobby VENCAK trying to check him, but he did get that shot off. So we're ready now for another face-off. Billy Naslonsky will face off against Mark Burnham. Naslonsky 15, Burnham 12. Burnham in the orange for Syracuse as the Spirit come out and get the first goal just as they did in the first half. And picking it up now is Mark Burnham, former All-American at Syracuse, 6 foot 185-pounder, as we watch him work in midfield.
This is the game I think that Syracuse was expecting. They were expecting to control the face-offs and win the all-even. And here you see Greg Tarbell dumping the ball off as the double came.
Perkins hit the pipe. That's the third pipe that they've hit. Perkins, tough luck for Syracuse there. Back comes Doug Hall.
And a good look by Tarbell, too, as he was doubled to dump it off to Perkins.
Hall passes it over the head of his teammate Eddie Cook, who had a splendid first half. Eddie Cook had a couple of assists. Bobby Cook, by the way, led the way for Long Island with 3 goals. Jeff Holmeyer had 2. Randy Powers has 2 for Syracuse so far, along with Tommy Corey. Syracuse trailing by 4 now, and they have possession as they have a new midfield unit in. We'll pick it up on the fly here. Eric Chesky, number 11, and Mike Guy, number 16, are working in the midfield, along with Tom Rosa, number 19. This is Tommy Corey now. They've moved him outside. Normally plays attack, but he's playing in midfield right now.
Now Corey just inverting from behind to come up top, take the long stick away, take VENCAK out of the front of the goal area, I think, Barry.
And that bounce shot wide. It was taken by Eric Chesky. Syracuse retains possession. They'll put it in play quickly.
Mike Nelson better hustle back into that cage. He's not going to have a lot of time.
Nelson had a splendid first half. The young man, former star at Adelphi. Now Powers working against Aaron Jones. Good matchup. Jones so quick. Nice collision over there. Jones trying to rake it away from Powers with a short stick. Scooped up in the air by Jones. Look at the fierce hitting.
What a collision there, Barry.
Powers after the ball, and he managed to get a piece of it and flip a behind the back shot wide. It'll still be Syracuse ball.
Well, they said Randy Powers has a lot of different kind of shots. We saw one of them, the behind the back shot right there, and he didn't lose a whole lot of impetus on that shot.
Now once again, this time it's Tommy Nelson. Good look in front, and a nice save on the close-in shot taken that time by number 21 for Syracuse.
Great reflexes by Mike Nelson. I'll tell you, he just turned around and he had that shot coming right at him. We had interference called there, Barry, as Nelson, who had possession of the ball, his stick was hit by one of the tackmen from Syracuse. That's interference. Can't do that, and we get a free clear for the Sachems.
So the Sachems with possession right now, as they made some substitutions here. Long Island leading by 4. Rocco Guglielmo, number 17 in the game. He and Todd Esposito have worked very effectively along with Bobby Piccola on this B midfield unit. Guglielmo has an excellent outside shot, had it checked by Rosa. And Syracuse trying to recover along the near sideline. Pratt losing it.
I don't think he realized he was as close to the sideline as he was when he scooped up that ball, Barry. The line sometimes over here can get confusing, and the guys from Syracuse, first time on this field, would have some difficulties.
Good point, Kerry. Now Long Island working it behind Jeff Fritz, trying to find his teammate over there, threw it away, and the ball rolls out of bounds. He's trying to get it to Rocco Guglielmo. And now Syracuse quickly will put it back in. But no, they reversed the call here. And Jim Booth very unhappy with the, he wants a discussion for Bobby Schwab. And now Schwab says, oh, it's a Long Island ball.
I don't know. I think Jim Booth might have a case there, except the official might have thought that it went off the Syracuseman's stick or foot before it went out of bounds.
Tony Parentini moving in. It's been a quiet game for Tony. Haven't mentioned his name too much. Good stop by Warren.
The low fish shot taken by Parentini.
Upfield a cheap clear here. And wandering out to play it will be the goalie. He's open game there. Nelson gets it up to Aaron Jones. He's got that good speed.
Good look again over to Parentini.
Now Cook has it checked away.
The Sachems took Parentini off the attack, if you notice, Barry, and threw him up into the midfield area. So Parentini, who played attack most of the first half, now playing midfield.
Parentini played on this field for Hofstra. Bounce shot it for Bobby Piccola and a score.
Another great shot by Piccola, taking it lefty from the outside. They said he's got a great outside shot. He showed us there why. Nice low bounce shot. First real shot put on Chuck Warren from the Spirit, as he's new in this second half, and I'm sure they're going to try and take some shots to welcome him to Hofstra.
Piccola from Ed Cook at 4:02.
Nice feed by Eddie Cook, and there's the bounce shot. Not a whole lot of angle on that shot taken by Bob Piccola. Well done.
Second goal of the game for Bobby Piccola, former star at Uniondale High School and Adelphi University. Bobby, the captain of Adelphi in 82 and 83 for Paul Doherty. Bobby's married, lives in nearby Oceanside. And a lot of these guys have real fine careers outside of lacrosse. It's interesting, you talk to them, they're very bright. They're just delighted that there's a chance now for professional lacrosse to succeed.
Well, you know, this is a dream of so many of these players, college players, even high school players. It's something to shoot for after college, the professional league, and it's really opening up a whole new world for a lot of lacrosse, I think, Barry.
Well, the big face-off coming up here in midfield. Mark Burnham.
Bobby Cook coming up with the loose ball off the face-off, and I think that's what the Sachem did very well in the first half. They controlled those ground balls, Barry, and they took the game away by controlling a little bit of the face-off.
Glenn Ott-Mormon, number 24, with it. He's had an excellent shot out of Half Hollow Hills West High School. He was checked. Mormon, who played at Virginia. And Syracuse now looking to get some transition going. They clear it downfield, looking for Powers. And let's see who last touched it.
Well, that'll be a pass, and that was a great play by Aaron Jones defensively. Knowing he couldn't really get to the ball, he just checked the stick on the pass, and of course, which forced the attackman to lose sight of the ball.
Randy Powers just couldn't get to it. Now VENCAK will drop it back to his goalie. Aaron Jones on the far side will play it.
Remember, they only have 25 seconds to get the ball over.
One of the rule changes here. Now Nelson, nice pass upfield. Moorman gets it back out to Lawson. Todd Lawson, former star at Adelphi also. He's 22 years of age, got good legs. And gets the shot off, stopped by Warren.
Might have been able to take the shot a little bit sooner, Barry, so we have a better angle.
Cook after that loose ball. Couldn't get it. And hustled down by Long Island.
That, I think, has been part of the factor, too. Great shot here. Todd Lawson winding up, taking that right-handed shot.
And give credit to Bruce Bruno for keeping that play alive. Number 10, he was the guy with that great hustle, the attackman who kept that ball on the ground, came up with it, and he set up really that goal.
That's exactly the point I was going to make as we saw Bruno come up with the ball, is that the Sachems have been playing so aggressive, and they've really been hustling all over the field that that's really been paying off. And here we see it on the replay. We get the opportunity again for Lawson, and the goal, though scored by Lawson with a great shot past Chuck Warren, really made by Bruno, I think, Barry. Gotta give him a lot of credit.
Moorman will get the assist. Bruno won't get an assist, but really it was Bruno who made that play, getting the ball over to Moorman after staying with that ground ball and coming up with it. So Lawson comes up with the goal, and for Lawson, that is his second goal. So they're getting a lot of balance, and they're getting a lot of scoring from the midfield.
And that is the area, again, I think that Alan Lowe and Frank Rossi were expecting a lot to come off the attack, and the attack have done a great job. But I think very pleasantly surprised the midfield has done a great job.
Well, Homeyer has 2, Lawson has 2, Piccola 2, all midfielders.
That's good balance, too, Barry.
Now Naslonsky comes up with another face-off. The lead is 6 for Long Island. They try to make it 7 here. Cook with a shot, and he beats Warren on the bounce shot.
Naslonsky, great job splitting the defense, giving the ball over to Eddie Cook, and that was a nice, great bounce shot again. Chuck Warren is having a rough introduction right now in the second half, getting his feet wet in the opening game, and for him starting the second half.
So Eddie Cook, who's been setting up everybody, has 3 assists, gets his first professional goal, and we watch it once again, goal number 12.
There's Naslonsky right off the face-off, splits the defense, looks to the offside to Cook. Cook takes the back shot right on the near post, and Sachems are playing real well right now, Barry. Coach Lowe and Rossi have to be very pleased with the way the Sachems are playing.
Well, 3 goals in about 1 minute and 30 seconds or so, 2 within 12 seconds. The goals came Piccola at 4:02, Lawson at 5:30, and Ed Cook at 5:42. And again, Naslonsky doing a good job, as the wings will have to come in and try to help out on this face-off. Look at that scramble.
Loose ball, that's anyone's ball. Sachems coming up with it again.
And it was the defender over there, Pete Olson, who came up with possession.
And what a great look by Olson to get it to Naslonsky on the opposite side of the field.
He moves in, watched by Tarbell. It's been a very quiet game for Greg Tarbell. We had expected so much from Tarbell. He has not scored. This is Doug Hall now coming in midfield, number 8, along with Naslonsky. Hall cutting to his right, sweeping. Blocked. Good defensive play by number 25, Jeff McKee. And McKee gets it back with the long pole. Former All-American at Syracuse. He's the oldest player in the club, almost 32.
And again, the aggressive play by the Sachems almost came up with a ball there, Barry.
Sachems have scored 3 goals on 5 shots in this third quarter.
And the Spirit have thrown it away, giving the ball back over to the Sachems.
Sachems leading 12-5.
Look at that look by Nelson. Great look. Right up the midfield, pinpoint the pass. That's why these guys are pros, Barry. They can put it right on the money.
Jeff Homeyer now on in midfield, number 18. And it looks like Homeyer and Hall will go off. We'll get a change on the fly right here. Todd Esposito, 23, checking in, along with Rocco Guglielmo. So the midfield line change is complete. Here's Perrotini, who's been moved back to midfield. Nice feed, and the shot up high by Esposito. Stopped by Warren.
And he did great just to come up with the pass. The pass was a little bit low, not a great pass. He did an excellent job just saving that ball, much less coming up with an excellent shot.
Eric Chesky had it checked away. Good defensive play by Todd Esposito. And he comes down the right wing. Midfield play has been the difference in this game, and undoubtedly, Long Island has had the better of the midfield play.
And exactly, Coach Lowe said this is going to be a midfielder's game. It's up to the midfielders to do the job because they've got to go both ways. They don't have the luxury, as in college, to play just offense. They got to play offense and defense.
Rocco Guglielmo shot miss, but back in play quickly. Here's the dangerous Cook.
And he's doubled.
Beautiful look in front and a score for Bobby Piccola, his third game. Piccola cutting down off the crease for midfield, and Eddie Cook set him up again.
And Piccola took a nice shot on goal. He also took a hard hit by Dan Pratt after as he released the shot. Cook doing a great job feeding, getting the assist, as we see on the replay. Piccola will get the ball from Cook. There's Cook driving the cage as he gets doubled. He looks into the middle. Piccola, and there's the hit by Pratt right as he releases the ball. And we get a timeout by Syracuse. They got to talk things over right now. They're trailing 13-5. They've given up a lot of goals right now in the early on in the third period. And I think right now Coach Jim Booth has got to really talk to his players and say, guys, you're not playing the way we expect you to play, and you got to start doing something right now before this game gets out of hand.
Eddie Cook assisting on Bobby Piccola's third goal. Cook has 4 assists to go along with his goal. And right now, let's see if we can join the huddle. Alan Lowe has got to feel pretty good about this.
Mickey. Hey, Mickey.
Come on, let's go. Let's go. Right down the court. Stop him. Fly zone shit.
Well, I'm sure as we see the replay goal, here's Eddie Cook again, feeding inside to Piccola. You got a great view from behind Piccola as he took the great shot on Chuck Warren, putting it in the upper corner.
Well, the Sachems really coming out on fire. It looked like we were going to be in for a real tight game after the game had been closed to within a 4-goal margin. And there you see some of the fans. It was 9-5, remember. And then all of a sudden, Long Island scored 4 goals within about a 2.5-minute span, almost a 3-minute span from 4:02 to around the 7:57 mark. And right now they're in command, 13-5. They've scored 4 unanswered goals, but Syracuse has the ball, trying to get on track here. Mike Guy works it behind to Randy Powers, working on Aaron Jones.
That's a great matchup, too, because Jones has great speed, and Powers is a real strong, tenacious attackman. Good battle right there.
Jones not only with speed, variety of checks. He was a star at Cornell, played on that team, of course, a couple of years ago. There's a look at the shots. Long Island really out-shooting Syracuse by a wide margin right now, but they've been accurate with their shots here in the second half. I think Warren has faced only 6 shots. He's given up 4 goals. That's a nice stop in close by Nelson.
Watch out. Oh, Syracuse, unfortunate, but gets the rebound.
Rosa scoring as a defenseman was trying to play goal there. Nelson had been knocked down and was out of the play, and I think the ball hit one of the players in front, and it went in anyway, and it'll be a goal for Syracuse right there for, I believe, number 16 going to get credit for the goal, and that will be Michael Guy.
And I think also, Barry, we had a flag on the play, a high hit by the Sachems, I believe, so they're also going to be man down right now.
Well, Michael Guy, a star at Hobart. Let's look at the replay on that goal.
There's Mike Guy falling forward. Now, there's a great stop by Nelson. The ball pops out. He can't quite get control of the rebound, hits one of the Sachem players, scooped up, and he loses it, and it just happens to go right into Mike Guy's stick, and there he goes taking the shot. And we had a defenseman on the line, too.
It was John Edney, number 13, who took it on the numbers, so to speak, and it trickled in. That's tough when you're trying to play goalie there.
That sure is, and they did a great job to come up with that ball.
So they get the goal, and now...
And the Sachem are man down right now, too, Barry.
So they've got an opportunity, Syracuse, with possession here to try to close this big deficit. Ball goes out of bounds, and it will be Syracuse ball. So the Spirit, after scoring, now with possession, trailing 13-6, 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
Now, they've been pretty effective with their man up, Barry. They've been running
3 for 5.
They've been running a 1-2-3, and now they're going. Now they'll be getting in Tarbell into the man up as he comes onto the field.
Tarbell will throw it behind the cage. It was checked, and they'll get it back. Put it back in play. Tarbell.
Now they're in a 1-3-2. Tarbell dumping it off up top.
As we mentioned, there are 3 for 5 man up. Corey working it behind. Nelson, Tommy Nelson, over to Tommy Corey. Over to Tarbell. Move it quickly. Corey behind, nice look out in front, and it goes wide, however, on the shot. Well, there's the player serving the penalty for Long Island. In the box there is Bruce Bruno.
Mike Nelson covered that near pipe real well, Barry. He was right on it, didn't give away anything.
Good hustling play. Long Island will have the ball, still a man down. No stalling here. They've got to get the ball up across midfield. Penalty is over anyway as Bruno has joined the attack. And Long Island with possession as Naslansky moves it downfield and drops it off.
Sachems did a very good job of clearing that ball, Barry. They're doing a good job all around playing, clearing, riding, and an excellent job as they killed the man down. And we see the Sachems take a timeout right now.
4:52 to go, third quarter. Long Island with a 13-6 lead as they broke in this game open with 4 goals in a row here after Syracuse had scored the first goal of the third quarter and the last goal, but it was all Long Island in between. Or trails by a score of 13-6. Let's join the huddle of Syracuse.
So we give them a nice dump to the attackman behind. Then that midi head, the ball shuts off. All our middies are shut off. We'll take the ball away from them behind the goal. Let's go, come on.
That was assistant coach Mike Greco giving the instructions to the defense now for Syracuse, looking to shut off behind the goal and try and take the ball away from the Sachems as they'll put the ball in play on the all-even offense right now.
Mike Greco, former coach at RIT. They've had a fine Division III program for a long while. And, of course, Jim Booth, who was a star at Syracuse, is the head coach and handles the offense. Long Island with possession here. As they'll work it outside. This is Cook. Bobby Cook, number 5. Over to brother Ed Cook. Oh, Cook spinning. Checked and down by a couple of orange men. Not Syracuse orange men from the University of Syracuse, but orange uniforms of the Spirit. But Long Island losing the ball right here.
But we have a penalty on the play, Barry, so we'll the Sachems will be going man up. They called an illegal procedure interference call against Syracuse, so that'll give them a 30-second penalty.
So Doug Hall will put it in play. Long Island has scored man up a couple of goals today. Now work it behind a Cook.
Up top.
Back out top. Side of the goal. Here is Cook forced to go back. Bobby Cook. Jeff Homeyer, 18, got spun around. Hall trying to rake it up. Homeyer's got it. He has 2 goals. Former North Carolina star. Homeyer missing in close. But Long Island retains possession. But we had a violation, apparently, a crease violation.
Homar ended up into the crease after he took that shot, Barry, and they called the crease violation, so the Sachem will lose ball as Syracuse puts it in play.
They are still a man down, still have a man in the box. Now Cook on the ride.
We should be back to all even, I think, now, Barry.
Now we are.
Was up.
Penalty has expired. Syracuse with the long pole trying to cheap clear, and they get it upfield.
John Williams does an excellent job there. Shake the ball loose.
He sure did. This is Eddie Cook. Boy, both Williams and Trowbridge have been used spotted duty here defensively as midfielders. They've done a good job. They have over a supply of midfielders. They have 3 full midfield units and a couple of extra middies. So they've been using them effectively.
And they have, because there's a lot of pressure on the midfielders. They really got to work hard.
And Syracuse, on the other end, has been basically going with just 2 midfield units.
We're getting a call again against the Sachems, a delay of game penalty, 30-second call, and the Sachems will be man down.
So Syracuse needing these man-up situations to try to get back in the game. 3.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Syracuse trailing Long Island 13-6. Syracuse will have possession here as we have changes being made. You're allowed to make changes when there's a penalty to be served. Most of the time, as we mentioned, just changes on the fly, unless a goal has been scored or a time-serving penalty has been committed. Nice look for Powers out in front. He had it blocked.
I'll tell you, Barry, I think the man-down team for the Sachems have been doing a very good job.
And they come up with a ball here and a chance perhaps to score short-handed. That's Peratini checked, and he lost the ball. Tarbell can't get it. Hall trying to come up with it.
Well, that ball is bouncing around on that turf.
Corey finally gets it for Syracuse. 2:50 to go. Penalty just about close to expiring. As the Long Island player Bruce Bruno serving the penalty is going to come back on momentarily. Still in the box, however, and Syracuse has a man up. Perkins Penalty now is over, as a goal is scored for Syracuse.
Wow,
Randy Powers coming up with that goal.
I think there looked like there was some confusion on the part of the Sachems as to whether or not the penalty had expired. We saw Bruno going on and off the field, and I think that Bobby Cook was a little bit late getting down from the midfield if the penalty had expired, but it was a great shot. It was a good shot taken by the Spirit. That was number 12, I believe.
No, it would be Randy Powers, number 3.
Randy Powers took that shot. Nice low shot, as we see it right here. He drops his stick head, and he picks that shot right up in the upper corner. Stick side, though, on Mike Nelson.
He's got that phenomenal right-handed shot. It really is a cannon, underhanded that time. And he gets his 3rd goal. He and Bobby Cook and Bobby Piccola all have 3 goals apiece in the inaugural American Lacrosse League game. Now off that face-off, hustling after it, Long Island. It'll go out of bounds, and whose possession will it be? Officials conferring here.
I haven't seen a hand signal yet to tell us which way it's going.
Bobby Schwab motioning for the ball, and they're going to reface it off.
Yep, they'll reface it. They weren't quite sure who it went off of. No, not an official in the position to make that call. So it's a good situation to reface it.
Glenn Mormon, 24, against Tom Rosa on the face-off. Rosa for Syracuse coming up with it cleanly. Syracuse down by only 6, and a goal here could really make it interesting because they have not really exploded for 3 or 4 goals in a row, and they're capable. You know that, Kerry.
Oh, they're very explosive. They're really strong in midfield. They're very capable of scoring a lot of goals quickly.
Here's Mike Guy, 16. Misses the cage. Warren hustling after it, and they had no backer help, so good play by the goaltender, and check that by Nelson. And so Long Island gets possession here.
Good hustle by Nelson. As you said, he reacted very well to the shot and hustled to get the ball over.
So now Cook on the ride by Corey, having to retreat, so he'll calmly play it back to Nelson, his goalie. Haven't seen too much riding by Syracuse, but they ride here, but sneaking up upfield is Aaron Jones. Now Long Island with possession. Cook. Eddie Cook. As they had 3 men behind the cage. Look out for Mormon, but it was picked off by Warren. Warren gets it up the near side for Jeff McKee. He's got excellent speed. McKee, the big guy, the old-timer, number 31 years of age, Mr. McKee. Corey gets it. We have a delayed whistle or a paper flown on the field.
No, I think that's a flag.
Flag, okay. So it's a delayed penalty coming up against Long Island.
Great check.
And now as Long Island gets possession, the whistle blows.
We had an offsides against the Sachem, and that's why they'll go man down for 30 seconds. And that was really an excellent check taken there by the Sachems.
Hey, Jeff, go ahead on.
Part of the crowd here at the Hofstra Stadium. And hope that you'll come out next week. They'll be playing the Denver team, and that game will take place at 2 o'clock right here at Hofstra Stadium. Professional lacrosse, and Kerry, it's been a real exciting afternoon. I know we're enjoying what we're watching.
It certainly has, Barry, and I think you know, when the fans come here to see these Sachem play, they'll really be impressed.
Man up for Syracuse. Corey moving it to Nelson. Here's Tarbell. His shot blocked in front, and Long Island trying to get the ball out. After it, Dan Tracy, number 30, got it up across midfield, and a little whacking going on right there, pushing and shoving. Pete Olson trying to calm things down a little bit.
Pete Olson is the defender who took that shot, Barry, at the end, and he hustled up to midfield and got involved in this little fracas up at the midfield when the Syracuse Spirit man just swung his stick at Olson.
I think it was Kevin Martin, number 29, who was a bit upset. He'll head to the sideline. Greg Tarbell talking to him and trying to calm him down as the flag has been thrown on the field.
We have simultaneous penalties now, so the teams will play 5-on-5, which will open up this game maybe even more.
28 seconds left, and of course we still have a man in the box right now for Long Island. So it'd actually be a 5-on-4 situation, which will really open it up. There's the man in the box, Bruce Bruno. He was not the man who was penalized, but he is serving the penalty. Long Island coming down shorthanded and nearly scoring. Now the man out of the box, so we're back even at 5-5, not at full strength, but even anyway at 5-5. Bruce Bruno checked as he got to the crease, And let's see if what the call will be.
Now we got a 30-second push call now called against the Spirit. So we'll have a man-up opportunity now for the Sachems. It'll be 5-on-4.
Again, a mix-up on the part of Syracuse there to allow Long Island short-handed to just come down the field right there and nearly score. Nobody picked him up. So now Long Island working man up. A lot of people in the box right now. Syracuse has 4 defenders out there. Long Island, it's a 5-on-4 situation right now.
Now, Long Island is going to be content to hold the ball, Barry, and trying to work out the clock and start
down
the
to
4th
2
period.
seconds, 1 second, and the 4th quarter will start with Long Island with possession and a man up. So that's the story at the end of 3 in the American Lacrosse League debut. It's the Long Island Sachems 13 and the Spirit of Syracuse 7. We'll be right back. You're watching college, or rather professional lacrosse on Cablevision's Long Island Sports Network. We are back. Barry Landers along with Kerry Gluck, and let's go down on the field, and here's Bob Galistine.
Barry, informal fan survey asked about 30 fans, would you come to another American Lacrosse League game? And the answer is generally positive, ranging from lukewarm to most people responding, yes, they would definitely see another Long Island Sachems game. More than a handful of fans coming down from Syracuse, and it really has been a tremendous game. Fans echoing that sentiment.
Okay, Bob, thank you very much. So the fans apparently enjoying the product, and we hope that you're enjoying it wherever you're watching at home. Let's take a look at the 3rd quarter scoring summary as far as these 2 clubs are concerned. And you can see Syracuse got off and winging at the 15-second mark, but then those 3 quick goals, a minute and some 38 seconds apart. Picola and then Eddie Cook, and Eddie Cook right back again some 12 seconds later. Then another one by Picola, 4 in a row before Syracuse came back with 2 late in the period.
I think that's been the key right now in the second half, is that flurry of goals that the Sachems scored right quick in the 3rd period, Barry.
And I guess the key right now is Syracuse, they've got to get something going, but right now they've got to kill a 5-on-4 situation for Long Island. Doesn't take Long Island long to cash in off the setup from Cook. Behind, he spotted his attackman, Bruce Bruno, in front, and Bruno comes up with a goal to make it 14-7.
And Cook did a nice job. He moves to his left, he looks back over his shoulder to the weak side, and there's Bruno sneaking in a little bit and taking the shot in on close on Chuck Warren. It's All-American. Bruce Bruno, being an All-American at Cornell, did a great job there and took a good shot. As we'll take another look at it on the replay, Cook feeding off to Bruno, and there's the shot. Puts it on the far post the off shoulder of the goalie, Chuck Warren.
Warren going down, leaving a lot of the upper part of the net to shoot at there. And you know, it's interesting that Bruno, who hustled and set up another big goal just a little while ago, now he's on the receiving end, and you like to see that happen, Kerry.
Yes, you really do. You're doing a good job. And we'll notice also, Barry, that again, both teams are still playing 5-on-5. Releases the technical penalty, but the simultaneous penalty still serves in the box.
Ed Cook assisting on that last goal now, has 5 assists to go along with 1 goal for Long Island. And Long Island coming up with it. Speaking of Cook, he has played a superb game. Oh, almost a great catch by Guglielmo there.
What an effort, huh? He just took his stick out and shows you the great control these guys have of their stick, Barry.
It's beautiful to watch the stick work on these clubs. Penalty still in effect, or rather it's still 5-on-5 now. Both players release. It's now 6-on-6. And this is Hall, number 8, falling. And Syracuse kind of pick up McKee upfield. And Syracuse on the transition here. This is Kevin Sheehan. Sheehan after it still, number 28, going down. And a loose ball push against the Long Island club will give Syracuse the ball as Tommy Nelson quickly puts it in play. Here's Corey moving in, and he bounces it, raked in on the rebound by number 5, Tommy Nelson.
Tommy Nelson just right the man on the spot. Mike Nelson makes the save. The ball hits the cross of the shaft. It comes back out, and again right there to put it in because Mike Nelson was out of position. Easy goal for Tom Nelson.
Well, Tommy Nelson, who played at Yorktown and Syracuse, making it a little closer for Jim Booth's club right now. They are 14-8 right here. They trail by 6 as the goals coming early here in the 4th quarter. 1 minute 5 seconds the time of that goal. Syracuse needs possession, but they're not winning the faceoffs enough, and they don't win this one. Naslonsky winning that one again. As bumped was Homeyer, but look at that hustling play to get it to Hall.
Really great, outstanding effort. You know, and these guys aren't young, Barry. These guys are, you know, mid-20s, and they're aggressive.
Delayed penalty against Syracuse as it's shot wide from in close by Eddie Cook. And Long Island will have a man-up situation here as the clock stops with 1 minute and 28 seconds gone in the fourth quarter, as the penalty will be called on Syracuse defenseman Jeff Desco.
And he gets called for the slash, 1 minute penalty. And again, Syracuse can't afford that now, Barry. They need the possession, and if they're playing man down, they're not going to be in possession. So they really have to keep off the penalties.
Doug Hall putting it in play on the far side at the top of your picture, or at the bottom of your picture, we might say. Hall swinging it back outside to Billy Naslonsky. Over to Hall. Working it behind Eddie Cook, who's done a great job feeding. Back to Hall, stopped by Warren. And he'll cheap clear it to the sidelines, out of bounds, into the penalty area where it's stopped by his Syracuse teammate serving the penalty, Tom Nelson. Man-up situations, you can see Long Island has done pretty good. Now they've made changes, Long Island. They'll work it. Swing it behind Ed Cook. Deflected high, looking for Homeyer. Recovered by Hall, trying to get it in front to Bobby Cook. But broken up, and Syracuse has it. Syracuse down a man, trailing by 6. Still plenty of time to go. 12:44 to go as Greg Hall moves it up. He has a check from behind, but Syracuse recovers. Oh, nice play by Warren to come up with that pass. Penalty is up now.
Good job by the Spirit man-down team to kill off this penalty, Barry. And that was an important penalty to kill off, too. They couldn't afford to get down another goal right now in the fourth period.
Here's Corey working down the right wing. Cut off by the big stick there of Tommy Martello, number 19. So he'll move it back now. And Syracuse sends Greg Tarbell back in. Tarbell looking for his first goal. Mark Burnham, who's had a tough game. Their first midfield unit really has been badly outplayed. Tarbell, Burnham, and Perkins. And back comes Long Island against that unit. Hall trying to make the pass.
And he had the man open, too. He had the his attackman Cook open on the crease, just couldn't get the ball to him.
Cook recovered over to Hall, looking for a cutter, maybe.
Yep, that's exactly what he was looking for, Barry. Couldn't see anybody that was open making the cut.
Long Island with possession, 11:38 to go. And there's the look from behind the goal. That's the view that the goaltender, Warren, is facing. Long Island bringing it out now, and they'll send 2 men back.
Jeff McKee doing a good job defensively on that last sequence. There's the shot taken wide of the goal.
But again, backup support there as Bobby Cook was behind the cage. And Long Island will put it back in play, leading 14-8. Bobby Cook with a beautiful move, cutting out in front on the defenseman.
Unassisted goal. Bobby Cook just took his defenseman. He cooked him. He took him one-on-one, beat him, and Chuck Warren coming out of the goal, not able to make the save. And the Sachem are playing very, very well. Their attackmen are really playing well, riding, hustling all over the field. You see white jerseys swarming on the ball, and I think that's really been the difference.
Goal number 4 for Bobby Cook right here.
And he beats the defenseman. That was Greg Tarbell with the short stick that had him. And I think the Sachem playing very, very smart, Barry. They're picking on the short sticks on the defense. And here's a picture of Bobby Cook. Got to be pleased with the way he's playing. And I'm sure Coach Lowe and Rossi got to be pleased with the way the entire Sachem team is playing.
Well, as we mentioned, the midfield has been a difference here for Long Island. They've really outplayed the midfield on the other side for Syracuse this afternoon. And right now, Long Island with a commanding 7-goal lead early here in the fourth quarter. On the ground, they battle for it. And Rosa finally will pick it up for Syracuse, number 19. Tommy Rosa on the fast break. Bounces one, and yes, getting a piece was goaltender Nelson.
Almost went in for a VENCAK. The save by Nelson hit VENCAK's foot and almost rolled back into the goal.
Here's Cook. Eddie Cook. He'll take it right up the middle.
Oh, good check.
Oh, was that beauty check from behind. Kevin Sheehan.
But again, the white jerseys all over the ball, Barry. They're coming up with those loose balls, and that's, I think, been one of the major differences in this game.
I think the fitness of their midfield, the fact that they have rotated 3 midfield units, they seem fresher, and they seem, as you said, Kerry, coming up with a lot of those ground balls. All right, now Long Island on the attack here, looking to up their lead. And a nice stop on the shot taken from outside as Warren came up with the save. Oh, what a hit.
I would say that would be a penalty.
Tom Corey taking quite a hit over there. Was that ever a hit? Let's watch it again.
And we'll see it on the replay. That's Jeff Fritz giving chase. He tries to go with a wrap check, and he gets his stick up a little bit high, right up under the neck. That could hurt, I'll tell you. And Fritz goes down with Corey, and certainly it'll be a man-up play for Syracuse.
And there is Fritz in the box, the 5'9", 175-pound, 31-year-old from East Meadow here in Long Island, not far from the field.
I'll bet he spent a lot of time here in his youth.
That's right. Nelson looks out in front. Beautiful setup. Tommy Nelson finding Mike Perkins just on the crease, and Perkins just puts it home easily. And his second goal of the game, and Syracuse now trailing by 6 with still plenty of time left. 9:46 to go.
Perkins cuts down nice off from the top, from the midfield, gets a good feed, and we'll see it on the replay. There's the feed from behind, as you'll see Perkins right there, number 13, in the middle of the screen. There goes his cut, and he's right in the face of Mike Nelson, puts it in off the pipe. And you can't give a guy like Perkins, who's got a great shot, that kind of room, and in so tight on Mike Nelson.
Tommy Nelson, the assist, and he set it up beautifully. Nelson, a premier finesse player. He'll find the open player.
And we saw it right there. He finds the seams, he finds the open player, and in that case, Perkins was the man.
Face-off coming up here for Syracuse, a big one. Pat Donahue on for the face-off. No, it's Rosa who came up with it. Rosa's got it. Nice shovel over to Nelson. Nice look out in front of the beautiful goal, Tommy Corey.
That's the way lacrosse is played. You saw the stick work, excellent stick work, good fast break goal. Tommy Corey, easy inside, right in close on Mike Nelson. But the play developed right from midfield as they got the face-off and came down on the fast break.
Tommy Rosa, the key here, coming up with that ball.
And look at the pass, cross field. He looks over to Tommy Nelson. Nelson looks right back across the field against the grain, finds Corey, and right in tight on Mike Nelson.
For Tommy Corey, that is goal number 3. So Syracuse exploding now, and as we said, a lot of time. It's a 5-goal difference with 9:36 to go.
Syracuse scoring 2 goals within 10 seconds. We told you they're explosive.
Tommy Corey's 3rd goal. He and Randy Powers have 3 apiece. Big face-off won this time by Long Island. John Williams dropping it off, and the look out in front. Good save by Warren on a close-in shot.
Peter Fritz took that, and it was a good opportunity by the Sachems. Again, John Williams doing a good job coming up with the loose ball. And again, the white Sachems coming up with the possession.
Now Cook trying to pick it up on the turf. Raked away and trying to stay with it is Kevin Sheehan. He's got it now. And Syracuse turning things around with those 2 goals. Very important possession right here, Kerry.
Right, yeah. Syracuse wants to make a good effort, a good show to try and bring them within 1, but unfortunately they throw it away, give the ball right back to the Sachems, and before anyone gets any chance to change their lines, ball back in play.
Poor play by Greg Hall. He had time to make a better clear there. Alan Lowe's club had a big lead. Now it's cut to 5. They led by as many as 7. 8:44 to go in this opening game of the American Lacrosse League. Long Island with the ball and leading 15-10. We'll identify the players. That's Bobby Piccola, who's had 3 goals today, number 11. Over to Rocco Guglielmo. He's wrap check. Ball loose and recovered by Syracuse. They'll try to get a transition going here. Mike Guy, number 16. Oh, that's Lucas, rather, number 15. A look out in front, and Nelson scores on a low shot. Tommy Nelson from 15 yards away, and it is now 15-11 with 8:10 to go in the 4th quarter as the Spirit haven't lost their spirit, Kerry. They keep coming back.
No, they haven't, and they've been whittling away at the lead that the Sachems built up. Nice goal by Tommy Nelson. He takes a low shot, and we get a timeout. But here's the replay.
Corey setting him up.
Corey looking inside right to Nelson, and takes a nice low bounce shot. And again, the lead by the Sachems cut now down to 4 as the Sachems lead 15-11.
Time of that goal will be 6 minutes and 50 seconds. Well, you know, Kerry, there are a lot of Long Island players on other American League lacrosse teams that are playing, and we'll tell you about that a little later. Let's see what Jim Booth's talking about right now.
Yes, we have. With a cutter.
Win this now.
You want to go 1-4?
No backup on 1-4.
Tarbell, you get the ball up front.
Keep him busy on the crease.
Turn about this way. 1-4 offense.
If he sweeps one way, the backside guy's got to come up and replace. That's the backup guy. Yeah, now, all right.
You got to wing comes up.
Yes. Working that crease.
Option wing's got to come up.
Work that crease.
We're going to a 1-4 with Tarbell up top.
Let's go, let's go.
Rosa.
All right, we heard Coach Booth of the Syracuse Spirit giving the offensive instructions here. They're going to set up in a 1-4. They'll put Tarbell up top, they feel, and they want the opposite wing to pop out.
Part of the crowd, they're enjoying it. Well, 3 Syracuse goals in less than a minute and a half have given them real life here. They're down by 4, and let's see what happens on this face-off coming up here. A big one for both clubs. And Lawson taking the face-off doesn't win it for Long Island. Rosa, who's played real superb lacrosse here, comes up with it. And Powers gives it over to Perkins. Perkins with a look at the goal line. Corey, who's been red hot. He'll get it back out on top. Beautiful, look, wide open, hit the pipe. Perkins set up beautifully, hit the pipe, a tough break right there. Mark Burnham set him up beautifully there.
Unlucky for Perkins, really. He took a good shot. He was one-on-one with the goalie. He shot it up high. He went up high on Mike Nelson and hit the pipe.
That's about the 4th pipe that Syracuse has had, and they're losing by 4 goals right now. So luck has not been on their side, you might say. Long Island with possession here, and they want to take some control of the ball here right now because the momentum has swung back the other way.
Exactly.
Here's Cook. Speaking of control, gets the shot off. As Ed Cook's shot was stopped, and we're going to get a slash coming up on Bobby Cook right here. He's very unhappy, making an unsportsmanlike call too after objecting to the official's call.
Here's that last shot taken by the Syracuse Spirit. We'll see the shot as here comes Perkins right in tight, bang, off that pipe. And I'll tell you, I think maybe Mike Nelson should do the old Chico Resch move, Barry, and kill those and kiss those pipes.
Well, Bobby Cook got a 2-minute unsportsmanlike conduct penalty too. So
there's the slash. That was the slash that he was protesting.
A real big man-up situation, and it's unreleasable here. So they are going to have a real interesting situation develop here. Timeout taken on the field. Alan Lowe's club, leading 15-7, has seen 4 straight goals scored, and they're really in trouble right now. So, with 7:12 to go here in the 4th quarter, and Long Island leading Syracuse by 4, we'll be right back. You're watching Professional Lacrosse on Cablevision's Long Island Sports Network. Two penalties, one for each 1 minute, a slashing and an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. And right now, Syracuse with a 2-minute major power play, so to speak. Even if they score, the man will not be released from the box. They can score as many goals as they can here in the last 2 minutes. Shots getting pretty even, so is the score. Syracuse down by 4. Nelson working it behind. Looks out on the wing, and a good save in close on the shot fired from in close that time. Big save there on Mark Burnham. Now Long Island trying to get it into the box. We get a whistle.
I think the crowd thought that there should have been a high check called against the Spirit there as John Williams attempted to bring the ball up, took the check right on the mask.
Let's watch this beautiful stop on the shot taken by Mark Burnham.
And look at the stick work here right by Nelson. He's got his stick right up there. Those are the reflexes that we talked about earlier, Barry, that Nelson is noted for.
Tarbell fighting for possession and